So very good morning. Welcome to Karthikeya IAS Academy. So we are going to discuss our next daily current affairs topic about Pradhana Mantri condolences loss of lives in plane crash in Indonesia. So recently, Indonesia plane crashed and our Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid condolences to them. So here you can observe image like Honeywell flight recorder do not open. So what is this? This is nothing but a black box. So actually black box should be in black, but really so many people don't know that black box is in black color. No, it will be in orange color. And here you observe some Indonesian persons, right? So they are extracting, they are researcher, they are searching for that black box from the sea because it fell in the sea, right? So let's discuss what all this topic is about. Deepest condolences from Indian Prime Minister Namo. So this is the Twitter account of Narendra Modi. So he paid a deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in unfortunate plane crash in Indonesia. So India stands with Indonesia in this hour of grief. So this was a Twitter account from Narendra Modi, right? So what is this flight name? The Sirvijaya Air Flight 182. It is the name of that flight, right? A Boeing of a 737-500 plane which lost contact with the aviation authorities shortly after taking off in Indonesia capital Jakarta. So this aircraft flying from the capital Jakarta to Pontianak, which is a city in West Kalimantan province of Indonesia, which crashed into the Java Sea. Right? So please do remember what is the flight name, right? And where it lost the contact and where it got crashed, Java Sea. And what is the destination? Jakarta to Pontianak, which is a part of a city of West Kalimantan province. So these are very, very important points that we should note. So now we should discuss in deep that what all this article is about. So in this article, we may get right about key points of black box. Please observe here. This is that black box. And please do remember black box color will be in which color? Orange. So in depth, if you observe, it is a flame orange color. So here, the black box, right? So not only this is the first time we are discussing this topic. We already discussed this topic on August 20th, 2020, when this Boeing 737-800 aircraft which got crashed in Kozhikode, Kerala. So here you should have the very, very clarity about the black box, which is technically known as electronic flight data recorder, right? So where it is used? It is used to investigate the details of the events immediately preceding an accident. So in this there will be a parts, nothing but FDR, CVR, flight data recorder, cockpit voice recorder. So this will be used for investigation purpose, how this flight accident happened. So these black boxes are compulsory on any commercial flight or corporate jet, where they are usually kept in the tail of an aircraft, where they are more likely to survive a crash. So if you observe clearly, this is the flight, and at the end of the flight, if you observe here, the parts of black box, nothing but the FDR and CVR, flight data recorder, as well as cockpit voice recorder, combinedly called as a black box. So here, what is the use of this flight data recorder? Please do remember the abbreviation of FDR as well as CVR, flight data recorder, cockpit voice recorder. So these FDR will record the things like the airspeed, what is the altitude, vertical acceleration, and the fuel flow. Whereas this cockpit voice recorder will record the conversations in the cockpit. So here we used technology like magnetic tape to construct this black box. Please do remember, we will use magnetic tape, right? So in 1960s itself, we came to know about this black box. The Australian scientist named as David Warren, and he belongs to which country? Australia. So Australian scientist David Warren was the first person to build FDR CVR prototype in 1958. Nothing but black box. And at that time he used magnetic tape, which is a technology that was first introduced in 1960s. So this magnetic tape works like any tape recorder. So in 1990s, kids, they have seen that a magnetic tape recorder, like a tape recorder. So, and now coming to these days, yani in 1990s, here we are using solid state memory boards, which came along in 1990s itself. And this solid state memory boards uses stacked arrays of memory chips. And this, from this FDR and this CVR, usually at least 10 to 15 days to analyze the data recovered from the black box. And whereas these black boxes are also used in vehicles other than planes like railways, cars, etc. also. So this black box can be used in any transportation modes, whether it may be used in commercial flights or in aircrafts or in air taxis. Please do remember, air taxi first introduced in India by which state? Please do remember, Haryana. So these black boxes are used in railways, cars, right? So please do remember. So what is the main topic? FDR and CVR. It will be placed at the tip of this wing. Next, who is the inventor of black box? So now only I mentioned about him. Please do remember, Australian scientist David Warren. Australian scientist David Warren. In which year? 1958. Coming to what is FDR and CVR in black box. So this also I explained a couple of minutes back. The black box is made up of two separate pieces. One will be the FDR and CVR. FDR preserves the recent history of the flight through the recordings of dozens of parameters collected several times per second. Example, records things like airspeed, altitude, vertical acceleration, fuel flow. In the same way, CVR preserves the recent history of the sounds in the cockpit, including the conversation of the pilots. And here the important note. The two flight recorders are required by international regulation overseen by the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is to be capable of surviving the condition like to be encountered in severe aircraft accident. For this reason, they are typically specified to withstand an impact of 3,400 grams and temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius, with about 1,830 degrees Fahrenheit. So this FDR, CVR in this black box should withstand the impact of 3,400 grams weight, and coming to the temperature over 1000 degrees Celsius or over 1830 degrees Fahrenheit. Here you can also observe here international regulation. Here the word used was international regulations. So the coming to the aircraft security, the international regulation body is ICAO. Please do remember ICAO, which is International Civil Aviation Organization, which is an UN specialized agency. It will come under United Nations, which was established in 1944 itself. And this introduced to manage the administration and governance of the Convention of International Civil Aviation. So this Convention on International Civil Aviation, another name is Chicago Convention. So please do remember, what is this ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, which was established in 1944. It will manage the administration and governance of Chicago Convention. So here question raises, what is this Chicago Convention? The other name is Convention on International Civil Aviation, which was signed on 7th December 1944 in Chicago. And at that time, there are 52 signatory states with India itself. We are included in it. In the same way, another regulation body is BCAS. Please do remember BCAS. What is the abbreviation of BCAS? Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, which is our Indian security, which is related to, which is attached to the Ministry of Civil Aviation of India. It also regulates the Authority for Civil Aviation Security in India. And another one, the third regulatory body is AAIB, AAIB, Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which will also come under, which is a division of Ministry of Civil Aviation, which investigates aircraft accidents and incidents in India. And coming to the recent, the Lok Sabha passed Aircraft Amendment Bill 2020, which was seek to amend the Aircraft Act 1934. So in which year Aircraft Act was introduced? In 1934. After that, aircraft security was introduced in India as well as in international. Coming to the international aircraft security, it is ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. We are a part of it. Next one is BCAS in India, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. In the same way, AAIB, Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which is also in India. And now, Lok Sabha in 2020, they passed Aircraft Act 1934. They amended Aircraft Act 1934. So please do remember all these points. And now, after the accident, how this black box can be traced? Please observe this part. Please clearly observe this part. So this is underwater locator beacon. You can observe on that image itself. It is underwater locator beacon. You may get in exam, what is the abbreviation of ULB? Underwater locator beacon. Right? So here you can observe, this is the tip of the aircraft, last tip of aircraft, where this black box including with the FDR and CVR will be preserved it, and it will usually take 10 to 15 days to analyze the data. Please do remember, right? So this ULB, so equipped with an underwater locator beacon. If an aircraft crashes into the water, The beacon sends out an ultrasonic pulse that is detectable by sonar and audio equipment to depths to approximately 14,000 feet. So if it crosses 14,000 feet, then the question raises how we will locate it. Until and unless you get the black box, you cannot decide what happened actually at that time, right? So incredibly, the beacon is powered by a battery that has a shelf life of 6 years. So within 6 years, we can find this beacon in water. So once the beacon begins pinging, it pings once per second for 30 days until its battery runs out. And the black box works in depths of up to 6,000 meters of salt water. If a plane crash takes place on land and not on water, the locator beacons of the black box will not send out the ultrasonic pings, signaling the investigators to look for the unit around the crash site. So this will send the ultrasonic pings in only if it is in water, right? So coming to the Indonesia static GK, who is the president of Indonesia, Joko Widodo. It is the religion in this country is Islam. Their currency is Indonesia rupiah. Capital city and largest city both are Jakarta. Official language is Indonesian. And please do remember, in static GK you may get which country is the world's largest island country, right? So that is Indonesia. Which is the world's most populous Muslim majority country? Please observe here, 87% of population belongs to Islam, Muslims. So which is the world's most populous Muslim majority country? And it is the most populous island, right? So first point, if you observe Indonesia, which is the world's largest island country, and here the world's most populous island is also Indonesia part Java. Please do remember, Java is the world's most populous island. Jakarta is the second most populous urban area in the world. So this is all about black box, right? So please do remember for which technologies are used. In 1960s they used magnetic tape, whereas in 1990s solid state memory boards were used, right? So what are the other methods to investigate? If you observe, is there any other method? If we didn't found any black box, then how you can investigate an air crash? There are some theories about it. So that is ATC, air traffic control, accounts from air traffic control. We can get the details and recordings of the conversation between air traffic control and the pilots moments before the crash. So air traffic control will coordinate the route of the flight, and they will continuously discuss with the pilots, they will guide them. So those recordings we can get it from the ATC. And in the same way, various data recorders at the airport which would tell about the precise point and the speed of touchdown on the runway. So alternatives are merely not a possible. It is a not possible. It is a possible, but we cannot get a complete idea. So please do remember the aircraft security, ICAO in international, BCAS in India, AIIB in India, and which bill we are amending. 1934 Aircraft Act is now amended in 2020. So these all are important topics. So please do remember black box. Please observe our previous class videos on current affairs. Karthikeya IAS Academy providing online, the best online classes as well as the best offline classes. You can contact to this given address, given phone numbers, and please do write test series on each paper. They are providing each and every subject analysis wise question papers with explanation. So please watch these videos, please go to the app and please have a look over it. And this is KCR. Thank you.